Good afternoon and welcome to the Windsor Star's Net News at Noon. I'm Craig Pearson, bringing you the best from the paper and the web, and thanks for joining us. A 42-year-old Windsor man is in hot water today after becoming infuriated with his Enwin bill and making a bomb threat. Police went to his home, noticed some images on his computer, and though police have not said what those images are, they have started a secondary investigation. Tomorrow in the paper, I'll have a feature on a Windsor woman who has a long list of ailments and pain and is having an issue with Health Canada and getting her medical marijuana card renewed. She's in limbo right now, doesn't know where she stands legally. It happens to be a growing problem given that more Canadians are turning to medical marijuana to help with such things as pain, tremors, and lost appetite. Who is Richard Rupert? Well, we'll have that question answered for you a little bit tomorrow, thanks to Star Police reporter Trevor Wilhelm. Rupert is allegedly a con man who swindles seniors out of money in the Toronto area. Yesterday, they issued a Canada-wide warrant for Rupert, but he is on the lam. And an announcement this morning, which is good news for Windsor. The Michigan Department of Transportation has put out a call for private firms to submit proposals to help build a second span across the Detroit River. This is the first concrete proof that Michigan is moving ahead. So as I said, that's good news. And speaking of good news, the Kildare House is set to reopen in June as one of the few Celtic pubs in the whole city. That's something worth cheering about. I have a list of questions for you. 1. Why do people like lists? 2. Why are there so many of them? And 3, how do lists help us? Well, to help answer that question is Star editorial assistant and scene contributor Julian Revin.
Hello.
Hello, Julian.
Hello.
Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Well, listen, I understand that you suggested the idea of coming up with a list of lists for tomorrow's scene page, which we'll be able to read about.
Yes.
But how'd you come up with that idea?
I was in a bookstore one day and I stumbled upon this really cool book, Listography or Life in Lists. And it's got illustrations in it and it's got every single list you could possibly think of. The two people who came up with this, Lisa and Adam from Brooklyn, New York, they believe everyone has an autobiography. So they thought, what a great way to convey your autobiography to people through lists.
Through lists. All right. So I guess I have a question. How do lists help people?
Well, lists help us stay organized, lists help us remember things, and I find people are very visual. They love to read lists. It could be a list of top 10 CDs or top 10 books you want to read in 2010. People are very visual. They love to read suggestions.
I love them too. So do you have a list you could share with us?
I have a list of suggestions that you, the viewers at home, could try.
Okay, I'm going to help you with this.
Okay. And believe me, it's not as easy as you think. It's easy to think of something you want to write. Well, it's easy to come up with a suggestion, but not a top 10 list. It's not always easy as it sounds.
Well, we'll do 5. So,
all right.
The Julian Revin's top 5 lists of lists. Number 5.
Name 10 things you could do if a life-size robot was made of you.
Holy smokes. Number 4.
Name 10 things you've done when you thought no one was watching.
Okay. Number 3.
Who, living or dead, would you invite to your ideal dinner party? Name 10 people, living or dead.
Oh, that's cool. Jesus Christ, Stephen King. Number 2.
Name 10 greatest absurdities in life.
That one would go on for a while. And Julian Revin's number 1 list of lists.
Name 10 things your conscience won't allow you to do.
I'm not going to list that list.
Okay.
Thanks very much. I got a list for you. My top favorite Net News at News show. 1, the time Karen Hall came on to talk about a particularly tight bodysuit Jennifer Lopez was wearing. Number 2, the time Dawson Chen came on to talk about a movie, and I asked him to give a suggestion of it, but not in graphic detail, and he started to do the graphic details immediately. And number 3, the time I did push-ups while Don MacArthur watched on in amazement. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
So for tomorrow, tune back in for some more Net News at Noon, and tune in, listen, enjoy.